significantly lower than last 2 years. And SKN government committed to promotion of entrepreneurship. Regionally, UWP election court challenge moving ahead, supporters urged to assist. Internationally, U.S. recalls ambassador to Zambia after gay rights row. And in sports, Usain Bolt beat an on-track return at opening of Tokyo Olympic Stadium. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this short break.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, Vaughan.
Welcome back, and now for the national news. Crime statistics for 2019 are currently lower than the last 2 years. So says Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for operations, Adolph Adams. He made the statement while appearing on a recent episode of the radio program Policing with You. ACP Adams said that this achievement is largely due to various strategies that were implemented by the High Command in their 2019 policing plan. He explained that the High Command set a mandate to reduce major crimes by at least 20%, which the police force has been successful in attaining. As a result, St. Kitts and Nevis has been a much safer place to live and do business, according to the ACP. In recent times, he said more of their programs are geared towards children so they can be nurtured and guided in a positive direction. The National Intervention Team had become the face of the organization as it relates to community policing. He noted that they have several community outreach programs, including the Explorers Club. Currently, the club has a membership of over 700. The Team Unity-led administration will, in the coming year, continue to encourage more individuals, especially the nation's youth, in becoming entrepreneurs. Senior Minister is the Honorable Vance Amri.
It is speaking to encouraging our people to become involved in business, providing the enabling environment for them to become an entrepreneur. But it's not just whatever they feel they can do, they get the support from the government through the St. Kitts and Nevis Development Bank. The money is made available there on lending to them. This is not a handout where people who are overnight, in the dead of night, given $50,000, some person going to have a chicken farm and there are no chicken and there are no farm. This is serious business, Mr. Speaker, because for the money to be made available for the business, there has to be a proposal. It has to go through a process. It has to pass a test so that we do not have the kind of experience which we had before under the previous administration.
Minister Amri also had this to say.
We are looking to get all of our young people encouraged, getting them excited about their future so that they can help to build the country. That is what this policy is about.
The Honorable Vance Amri. 4 cruise ships were docked at Port Zante, St. Kitts today, Tuesday, Christmas Eve, bringing with them over 13,000 visitors, including passengers and crew. This as the second cruise pier at Port Zante continues to attract more cruise lines as the harbor is now capable of berthing more ships. The Freedom of the Seas brought 4,387 passengers and 1,378 in crew. The Crown Princess transported 3,115 passengers and 1,173 in crew. The MS Insignia brought 654 in passengers and 400 in crew members. And the SM Veendam brought 1,350 and 65 passengers and 563 in crew. The visits of the ship are indications of the boom of the cruise tourism industry. During the 2017 to 2018 and 2018 to 2019 cruise seasons, the number of cruise passengers exceeded the 1 million mark. Meanwhile, several other ships are scheduled to make calls over the Christmas and Carnival holidays, including the Serenade of the Seas, Norwegian Epic, and Adia Diva. All will be done to successfully deliver a project to improve disaster resilience on Nevis. That is according to Director of Nevis Disaster Management Department, or NDMD, Mr. Brian Dyer. This as the government and people of Japan have committed to provide grant funding at a signing ceremony for the Memorandum of Understanding MOU and contract documents for the Japan Grant Aid Project for Improving Disaster Resilience in Nevis. It was held at the department's conference room on Tuesday, December 17th. The grant funding is in the amount of $161,309. The project entails the reconstruction of the bridge and access road near Charlestown, Nevis Sixth Form College, and the Nevis Girl Guides headquarters in Stony Grove, installation of aluminum shutters at Cotton Ground and Pond Hill community centers, installation of 100-gallon water tanks at the Cotton Ground and Pond Hill community centers, erection of official plates at all project sites, and a financial audit at the end of all project activities. Lord Kut took the crown in the Best of the Rest Calypso competition at Bank Street in St. Kitts. The event was held on a Thursday evening, December 19th, where Lord Kut amassed a total of 384 points with his Everybody Wants Something rendition. Sensation scored 366 with No Place Like Home and took the first runner-up position. Singing Sharon took the second runner-up spot with 354 points, with her rendition My Body, My Choice. And Singing Jennifer was the third runner-up with 352 points with her song Ticking Like a Time Bomb. Meanwhile, this evening, the finals of the So-Called Monarch competition will be held, which will also see artists squaring off in two segments. The Carnival Committee this year reverted to staging both the Power and Groovy segments after combing the competition in 2018. Ruckus H.E. won the competition last year. Barry C. took the first runner-up spot. Following that, the National Calypso competitions will be held at the Carnival Village on Sunday, December 29th. And finally, in our national news segment, a 15-year-old Shanika Johnson of Washington Archibald High School was crowned the National Carnival Talented Teen for 2019 in Sunday night's teen pageant. She also won the Best Performing Talent and Best On-Stage Interview. She was one of 6 young ladies who were vying for the National Carnival Talented Teen title. The other contestants were 14-year-old Shakira Brown of Immaculate Conception Catholic School, 15-year-old Quinicia Gilbert of Keon High School, 15-year-old Ashley Wilson of Charles E. Mills Secondary School, who placed second runner-up, 15-year-old Cheyenne Tyson of Gingerland Secondary School, and 14-year-old Zyra Wilson of Bastyr High School, who took the third runner-up, who competed in this year's competition. The pageant was held at the Sugar Mill in Warner Park at 7 p.m. That is the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vaughanradio.com or check us out on our Facebook at Vaughan Radio or our Vaughan Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
It's Christmas, and the Bank of Nevis Limited has special gifts just for you. Thinking about traveling to reconnect with family and friends, maybe purchasing gifts for your loved ones, or showing that special person in your life you care? Well, let's do it! Get an easy access loan up to $20,000 unsecured this season. Of course, that's not all. Our credit cards are easy to use and can be used anywhere in the world. So come and visit our Christmas tree this season for your mortgage, land, vehicle, and credit card presents. It's Christmas at the Bank of Nevis Limited, and we are improving the quality of life.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Welcome back, and now for the regional news. In Dominica, United Workers' Party, or UWP, is well on its way for filing election petitions challenging the outcome of the December 6 general elections in the country. The UWP president, Isaac Baptiste, said they are progressing with preparations to have the petitions filed within the next 21 days, provided for under the law. The United Workers' Party has maintained that there were voting irregularities during the elections, which the Dominica Labour Party won by a margin of 15 seats, 8 to 3, and have accused the DLP of stealing election. Prime Minister Skerritt has promised to initiate the process of electoral reform within the first 100 days of his new administration. He said recently that former CCJ President Sir Dennis Byron has accepted his invitation to perform the role of a one-man commission in this process. Based on information from DominicanNewsOnline.com, Baptiste has also called on UWP supporters to assist with the battle ahead. He said his party will need financing to meet the cost of the challenge that they are going to take to the judiciary. The UWP official said he is certain that if the 16,000 persons who voted for the UWP purchase their membership cards, thus bringing in some funds to compensate for the attorneys who will be working on the matter. News from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as per statistics provided by the Royal SVG Police Force, reported cases of sexual assault in 2018, 223, showed a decrease over 2017 with 264. However, a minister with responsibility for the family and gender affairs, Frederick Stevenson, told Parliament that his ministry and the government were concerned about the number of reported cases of gender-based violence. He was at the time responding to a question by the parliamentary representative for Central Kingstown, Sinclair Leacock, in Parliament. According to Stevenson, the incident assault accounted for the highest of reported incidents, which occurred over a period that spanned 2015 to 2018. The Vincentian.com says he noted that the government recently gave the approval for revisions of Sexual Offences Act within the Criminal Code, and that there were already some legislative reform of family laws born out of the Legislative Reform Project that formed part of the wider judiciary and legal reform project of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court in 2001. In the British Virgin Islands, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, RVIPF, in partnership with the Social Development Department, is urging parents to safeguard their children's usage of smart devices, especially during the holiday period. Inspector of Family and Juvenile Unit at RVIPF, John Antwine, said authorities opted to make an appeal following recent reports that minors are being exposed to inappropriate material, BVInews.com says. Out of Antigua, the Central Board of Health, or CBH, officers have been busy removing several boxes of romaine lettuce from the shelves and refrigeration storage of well-known supermarkets, according to the Antigua Observer. The country's chief health inspector, Sharon Martin, told the Observer that all of the condemned lettuce has been taken to the Cook's Sanitary Landfill to be crushed by the wheels of a backhoe before burial. The chief says that this is a way of ensuring they do not become accessible for human consumption. In a post on CBH's Facebook page dated December 23rd, the department is advising consumers to not purchase or eat romaine lettuce grown in Salinas, California. The post further states retailers are further advised to not offer the product for sale. The most recent E. coli outbreak linked to the romaine lettuce, which caused thousands of stores and restaurants to remove potentially affected product from their shelves in November, has now been reported across 25 states in the U.S. On Thursday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed that there have been 138 cases of E. coli across 25 states, resulting in 72 hospitalizations. There have been E. coli reported cases confirmed in Antigua and Barbuda since its November 29, 2019 release. Hundreds of families in the Cayman Islands are living in substandard housing, according to charity Acts of Random Kindness, or ARC. The organization helps to transform homes for families in difficult circumstances. However, founder Tara Nielsen warns they are only scratching the surface. CaymanCompass.com quoted Nielsen as saying, "There are people living without bathrooms, without proper roofs, without water or electricity." Once the Bowden household in Georgetown is finished, ARC will move on to a family of 9 living in a tiny makeshift home in West Bay. Other projects on the charity's radar include a family with young children living without a roof and running power from a neighbor's supply. In another case, ARC is attempting to assist a family that has lived without access to power or water for 4 years. At least a dozen other homes need functional bathrooms. As a small charity, ARC has enough resources to do 2 or 3 projects each year. Nielsen says they prioritize the most desperate situations, but the waiting list is long. And finally, in our regional news segment, in the Turks and Caicos Islands, the U.S. Coast Guard came to the rescue of nearly 200 people in the Caribbean Sea off the Turks and Caicos Islands, WSVN.com says. According to officials, a Coast Guard helicopter crew spotted a 30-foot vessel about 20 miles southwest of the archipelago on Saturday. On the vessel were 187 people with no safety or communication equipment. A Coast Guard ship and a Bahamian ship arrived on the scene. Each vessel boarded about half of the group. Fortunately, no one was injured and everyone was brought to safety. That is the regional news segment. International news is up next. Welcome back, and now for the international news. The U.S. has recalled its ambassador to Zambia amid a diplomatic row after he criticized the imprisonment of a gay couple, embassy sources have said. Last month, Daniel Foote said he was horrified that the judge had sentenced the men to 15 years in prison after they were caught having sex in 2017. The government accused him of trying to dictate policy, and President Edgar Lungu declared him persona non grata. Zambia is a deeply conservative society where homosexual acts are illegal. You cannot ask a government to make a decision at gunpoint. Because we are giving you aid, we want you to do this. You can't, Zambia's Foreign Minister Joseph Malangi told the BBC last week. Last month, a high court in capital Lusaka sentenced Japhet Chabata and Stephen Samba to 15 years in jail. The couple had booked into a lodge, and a worker peeped through an open window and saw them having sex, the court heard. In a statement earlier this month, Mr. Foote said he was merely expressing my belief about the law and harsh sentencing I do not agree with. Zambia is one of the largest per capita recipients of U.S. aid, getting about $500 million annually. The Duke of Edinburgh has returned to Sandringham, in time for Christmas after 4 nights in the hospital. Prince Philip, 98, was taken to King Edward VII's Hospital in London on Friday on advice of his doctor. Buckingham Palace said the Duke had returned to the Queen's Sandringham estate in Norfolk on Tuesday and thanked people for their good wishes. It comes after the revelation the Queen will use her Christmas Day message to acknowledge 2019 has been bumpy. The monarch herself traveled to Sandringham on Friday. The palace, meanwhile, said the Duke's hospital admission had been a precautionary measure. Prince Philip retired from the public life in August of 2017 after decades supporting the Queen. Here is more in this BBC report.
Philip is now back at Sandringham to spend Christmas with his family after being flown from central London by helicopter. The Queen is already here and other members of the royal family are expected to arrive throughout the day. The Queen will attend church on Christmas morning, but it's not known if her husband will join her.
The Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has promised to give volunteers battling huge bushfires up to 4 weeks of paid leave from their jobs. Nearly 1,000 homes in the state of New South Wales have been destroyed by the fires since the start of July. More in this BBC report.
As the charred remains of devastated towns are inspected, the true extent of Australia's bushfire crisis is gradually emerging. Almost 1,000 homes have been lost in New South Wales. All that's left of many are contorted metal roofs or scorched bricks. For residents, it's a miserable sight that's repeated time and time again. Recovering from a disaster on this scale could take years, and for some homeowners, the decision whether to rebuild in fire-prone areas won't be an easy one.
And finally, in our international news segment, Ed Sheeran has announced he is to take a break from world and social media until it's time to come back. The chart-topping singer said he would take a breather to travel, write, and read, and would return with new music when the time is right. Sheeran said things had been a bit non-stop since 2007, and that it was time to go out and see more of the world. He promised to come back when he lived a little more to actually have something to write about. The profile picture on his Instagram page has been changed to a black and white image of BRB for Be Right Back. Sheeran's statement followed another year of success that culminated with him being named UK Artist of the Decade by Official Charts Company. Last week, he released a video for his LMA collaboration, Put It All On Me, in which he is seen dancing in a kitchen with his wife, Sherry Seaborn. Earlier this year, Sheeran's manager admitted his client's apparent ubiquity ran the risk of overkill. Sheeran, who turns 29 in February, previously took hiatus from social media in 2015, saying he was seeing the world through a screen and not my eyes. He returned the following year, having used his break to travel the world and see everything I missed. That is the international news segment. Sports is up next.
Savings and fun with TDC Insurance's holiday special promotion this season. Get up to 60% off your motor insurance premium, free alternative transport, flexible payment plans, and still spin the wheel for chances to win gift cards, discounts, cash back, and so much more. This holiday season, TDCIC has the best deal for your motor insurance. TDCIC, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
Welcome back, and now into sports. In athletics, Japan's new national stadium was inaugurated in a star-studded event on Saturday, December 21st, with 8-time Olympic champion Usain Bolt lacing up his spikes again to test the brand new track. A crowd of 59,500 attended Saturday's sold-out gala titled Hello Our Stadium. According to OlympicChannel.com, the reigning 100-meter and 200-meter world record holder Bolt was beaten in an exhibition relay event, but also took part in setting a new world record with a group of locals striking his famous lightning bolt celebration to add to his legacy on the track. The stadium will host the athletics event at next Olympics and Paralympics, as well as the opening and closing ceremonies. It was retired sprint star Bolt who drew the biggest cheers of the evening as he ran in the four-team 6x200-meter exhibition relay. The Jamaicans team came in third despite the presence of the fastest sprinter in history. Bolt was joined on the track by a host of famous athletes, including American hurdler Rai Benjamin. In basketball, here are the scores from last evening's games. Pacers 120, Raptors 115. Magic 103, Bulls 95. 76ers 125, Pistons 109. Wizards 121, Knicks 115. Cavs 121, Hawks 118. Heat 107, Jazz 104. Spurs 145, Grizzlies 115. Nuggets 113, Suns 111. Pelicans 102, Trailblazers 94, Rockets 113, Kings 104, Timberwolves 104, Warriors 113. In cricket, West Indies opener Shai Hope has entered the top 10 of the MRF Tires ICC Men's ODI player rankings after showing fine form in 3-match series in India that ended on Sunday. The wicketkeeper batsman has gained 5 places to reach 9th position after scoring 222 runs in the series, including an unbeaten 102 in the opening match in Shanghai, which his side won before going down in Visakhapatnam and Kotak. Also moving up in the batting ranks are his teammates Shimron Hetmeyer, up 6 places to 19th, and Nicholas Purran up 33 places to 30th. Fast bowlers Sheldon Cottrell up 6 places to 30th, and Kimo Paul up 35 places to 104th. I've also gained the latest rankings update. India's Virat Kohli took the number 1 spot. Still in cricket, it took Pakistan just 15 minutes on the final morning of this test match to wrap up a historic series win at home 1-0. Sri Lanka was bowled out for 212, resulting in a 263-run victory for Pakistan. The scores were Pakistan 191 and 553 for 3. Shan Masood 135, Abid Ali 175, Azhar Ali 118, Babar Azam 100 not out, Lahiru Kumara 2 for 139. Sri Lanka 271 and 212, Oshada Fernando 102, Niroshan Digwella 65, Nashim Shanha 5 for 31. Pakistan won by 263 runs. That's it for sports. The latest weather report is next. The weather tonight, mostly fair. The weather tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions. Winds southeast at 15 to 28 kilometers per hour or 8 to 15 knots. Seas 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. The sunrise tomorrow is 6:37 a.m. The sunset tomorrow is 5:44 p.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Tuesday, 24th December 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, crime statistics for 2019 significantly lower than last 2 years. And SKN government committed to promotion of entrepreneurship. Regionally, UWP election court challenge moving ahead, supporters urged to assist. Internationally, U.S. recalls ambassador to Zambia after gay rights row. And in sports, Usain Bolt beaten on track return at opening of Tokyo Olympic Stadium. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Daniel Moore wishing you a pleasant evening.